Namaste. Welcome back to Samskriti. We are in the fifth sarga of Yuddha Kandam in the Adhyatma Ramayanam series. Hearing the noble words spoken by Shuka, which were capable of destroying ignorance, Ravana got highly incensed and with eyes red with anger looked at Shuka as if he were going to burn him up, and he said, "You wretched and evil-minded fool! You are nourished by food given to you by me. How dare you talk to me as if you were my teacher? I am the ruler of the three worlds. And who are you, a mere servant to advise me? Are you not ashamed of yourself? You ought to be killed here and now. But remembering your past services, I am sparing you. O fool, get away from here immediately. I do not wish to hear such things any more." Considering this order as a great blessing, Shuka went back to his home to lead a retired life. Shuka, in his previous life, was a pious Brahmana who was an expert in Vedas and steeped in the knowledge of the Brahman. He lived in the forest industrially following the rules and tenets pertaining to the third stage of life called Vanaprastha. For the advancement of the Devas and destruction of the Asuras, Shuka was continuously performing many sacrifices. Knowing that Shuka was in favor of the Devas, the Rakshasas contracted enmity towards him. Among them, a famous Rakshasa named Vajradamshtra was waiting for an opportunity to harm Shuka. It so happened that one day, sage Agastya came to the hermitage of Shuka. After duly honoring and worshipping sage Agastya, Shuka invited him for his midday meal. When Agastya went to take his bath before taking his meal, the wicked demon Vajradamshtra saw this as an opportune moment, and he immediately assumed the form of sage Agastya and appeared before Shuka as if he were Agastya coming back to communicate something. In the disguise of Agastya Maharshi, he said to Shuka, "O Holy One, if you indeed wish to serve me meals, then you must also provide some meat, because for a long time I haven't eaten mutton." Shuka agreed to this and made elaborate arrangements for a feast with mutton included in the menu. When the real sage Agastya returned and sat for his meal, the wicked impostor Rakshasa, assuming the beautiful form of Shuka's wife, appeared on the spot after having rendered the real wife of Shuka unconscious by his magical power. Then he served sage Agastya various types of human meat dishes prepared tastefully and diligently. Having served him, the demon stealthily disappeared from the place. Sage Agastya was now provoked to great anger to see the prohibited human flesh served to him, and he said to Shuka in indignation, "O evil one, you have served me human flesh which should not be eaten at any cost. So I curse you to become a Rakshasa yourself, subsisting on human flesh." When Agastya had cursed him, Shuka was most shocked and terrified, and he pleaded with the sage, "O sage, it was only just now that you asked me to prepare an elaborate meal with meat. I have done only according to your instructions. So why is it that you have cursed me?" Hearing Shuka's plea of innocence, the enlightened sage Agastya reflected for a while and came to understand the mischief done by the Rakshasa. He thereupon calmed down and told Shuka, "O sage, all this is the handiwork of a Rakshasa who is inimical to you. Without any knowledge of it, I have pronounced this curse. Still, my words cannot go in vain. You will be turned into a Rakshasa. In the body of a Rakshasa, you stay for some time as a servant of Ravana till the time Rama comes to Lanka along with the army of monkeys to destroy Ravana. Then you will have the occasion to see Raghuttama when sent as a messenger by Ravana. By having Rama's darshana, you will be freed from the effect of this curse. Then, after imparting the knowledge of spiritual truth to Ravana, you will get liberation and attain the supreme status." When Agastya had finished speaking, Shuka was immediately transformed into a Rakshasa, and he joined the company of Ravana. Now, having had the opportunity to see Rama along with Lakshmana, and having preached the essential truth to Ravana, he regained his earlier form of a Brahmana and came to live among the other Vanaprasthas. When Shuka had left Ravana's place, there came Malyavan, the maternal grandfather of Ravana, advanced in years and well versed in rules, regulations, and codes of conduct. He came with a peaceful mind to give a piece of advice to Ravana, saying, O king, listen to my words carefully, and then you do as you think fit. O Dashanana, ever since Janaki, the beloved wife of Rama, was brought into the city, there have begun to appear various frightening omens indicating our imminent destruction. I shall describe them to you. Listen. With startling thunderclaps, terrifying masses of clouds are seen around Lanka, showering rains of hot blood everywhere. The idols of gods in temples weep, perspire, and tremble. Kalika, standing before us, is screaming with laughter, revealing her white teeth. Cows are giving birth to donkeys. Mongoose and rats, joining together as friends, are attacking cats, and snakes are fighting against eagles. The terrific figure of Kala, the destroyer, bareheaded, fat in body, and jet black in color, is appearing off and on, staring menacingly at the households of the city. These and several other inauspicious signs are seen everywhere. Therefore, O Ravana, perform the rites of propitiation for saving your tribe from destruction. The only way to do this is to restore Sita quickly to Rama along with rich presents. Know that Rama is Narayana himself. So, abandon your enmity towards him and surrender yourself at his feet. By taking the shelter of his feet, which are like a boat, the enlightened ones cross this ocean of samsara. So, Rama is not an ordinary man. Adore him with devotion as he resides in the heart of all beings. Even though you are given to evil ways, you will be purified by devotion. O great king, accept my words of advice for the welfare of our tribe. Ravana, who was already under the influence of destructive time, could not brook these words of advice given by Malyavan in his best interest. He therefore burst out, Rama, a mere man steeped in sorrow, a dependent of monkeys, exiled from his kingdom by his father, and the friend of ascetics, who will consider such a person as competent to do anything? You must have come to me, prompted by Rama, to speak eloquently on his behalf. Get away from my presence. You are aged and also my relative, so I have tolerated whatever you have said, but I cannot take it anymore. Saying these words, Ravana departed from there with all his ministers. Then, sitting on the top of his palace, Ravana had a view of the monkey army surrounding his city, and he gave orders to all his Rakshasa forces to be in readiness for battle. Meantime, Rama, seeing Ravana from a distance, thus seated comfortably amidst his ministers, took his bow brought to him by Lakshmana, and with eyes red with anger, shot at Ravana a semicircular arrow, which in an instant cut off the numerous white umbrellas held over Ravana, along with the crowns on his 10 heads. All were astonished to see this wonderful achievement. Overcome by shame and humiliation, the evil-minded Ravana immediately went inside his palace. He summoned Minister Prahasta and other ministers and ordered them to start the war forthwith with the monkeys. To the accompaniment of various kinds of drums, bugles, and other instruments of martial music, and riding on various mounts like buffaloes, camels, mules, lions, and tigers, and equipped with a variety of weapons like swords, lances, bows, darts, pestles, spiked bludgeons, and javelins, the Rakshasa armies took their positions at all the portals leading to the city. At the order of Sri Rama, the monkeys were already prepared for attack, having equipped themselves with huge boulders, rocky peaks of mountains, and whole trees marking the position of Ravana forces in different places. They mounted an attack on Lanka to the great satisfaction of Sri Rama. Those monkey leaders, each with 1,000 to 1 crore of followers under them, attacked Lanka with trees and huge stones. Giving out shouts of victories in the name of Rama, Lakshmana, and Sugriva, and protected by Rama, they jumped up and down in various parts of the city and gave battle to the Rakshasas. The powerful army leaders like Hanuman, Angada, Kumuda, Neela, Nala, Sharabha, Mainda, Dvivida, Jambhavan, Dadhivaktra, Kesari, Tara, and others leapt over the gate towers of Lanka and obstructed the exit passages with trees and rocks. The monkeys attacked the demons very swiftly, killing many Rakshasas with their nails and teeth. Roused to great anger, the Rakshasas came out of the portals of the fortress and killed many monkeys also with catapults, swords, spears, and hatchets. The victorious monkeys killed many Rakshasas, and the battlefield was made miry with the blood and flesh of the forces destroyed, thus presenting a sight of bloodshed. Reverberating the quarters with their battle cries, the Rakshasas fought, mounted on horses, elephants, and chariots of golden hue. Fighting with an eye on victory, the Rakshasas and monkeys clashed with great violence, causing mutual destruction. But, blessed by the glance of Sri Rama, the monkeys, who were the offspring of Devas, fought with great enthusiasm and joy like those who had drunk the Amrita. On the other hand, the Rakshasas had their prowess and good fortune eclipsed by the fact of their being under the protection of Ravana, accursed by the monstrous sin of casting his wicked eyes on Sita. They therefore suffered terrible destruction, and the army was reduced to a quarter of its original strength. Seeing the Rakshasa army being thus destroyed, the evil-minded Meghanada came for its protection. He was empowered on the strength of the boon given to him by Lord Brahma and became invisible. He was also proficient in the use of all types of weapons and arms. Now, remaining unseen in the sky, he attacked the monkey forces with the Brahma missile and various other kinds of weapons. Everyone was astonished at this feat of his. Rama, who was a master of archery, watched this for just a moment in order to maintain the sanctity of the Brahma missile. Then, seeing the monkey troops falling down, he flew into a fiery rage and said to Lakshmana, "O Lakshmana, bring my bow. I shall reduce this Asura to ashes in a moment with the Brahmastra. You witness my prowess today." But overhearing these words of Rama, Meghananda, who was adept in magic, stealthily and imperceptibly went back to his city immediately. Rama was very much affected to see a large number of monkey troops fallen down by Meghanada's attack. So he said to Hanuman, "Go quickly to the Kshira Sagara, that is the Milky Ocean, where there is a mountain called Drona, on which many medicinal herbs grow. Go and bring it quickly in order to revive the monkey warriors back to life. This will bring you eternal fame." Hanuman accepted the order and set off for the mission immediately. The mountain was brought and all the monkeys were revived with the help of its herbs. Hanuman then took the mountain back to where it belonged and returned. Now, a tremendous uproar of the monkeys was heard once again, and Ravana was utterly astonished. He said, "Rama, my great enemy, deputed by the Devas, is standing there knocking at our gates. All those who are my well-wishers, such as army commanders, ministers, relatives, friends, etc., should obey my orders and go immediately for battle. Those who do not go to the battlefield, fearing for their lives, violating my order, will be executed." Trembling with fear at this order of Ravana, all the highly skilled Rakshasa warriors like Atikaya, Prahasta, Mahanada, Mahodara, Devashatru, Nikumbha, Devantaka, Narantaka, and others went out for battle with the monkeys. These and other numerous courageous warriors who were proud of their strength attacked the vast monkey forces with various weapons like Bhushundi, Bhindipala, arrows, swords, battle axes, and a variety of missiles. And the monkeys in their turn counterattacked and killed the Rakshasas with trees, mountain cliffs, and with their teeth and claws. Consequently, that Rakshasa army was largely destroyed, some by Rama and others by Sugriva, Hanuman, Angada, and the high-souled Lakshmana and various other monkey leaders. By the infusion of Rama's prowess, the strength of the monkeys was augmented. How can others who are not blessed in this way by Rama's power gain any strength? Sri Rama is the Lord of all creation. He is also the controller of all who determines the destiny and fate of all the beings. He is ever established in his inherent bliss consciousness. Still, assuming the form of a man by his own Maya and consequently following human ways, he engages himself in war and other activities as a sport or leela. Thus ends this sarga. Let's move on with the chanting now. Adhyatma-ramayane Yuddha-kande Panchamaha Sargaha Shri Mahadeva Uvacha Shrutva Shukamukhodgitam Vakyam Ajnananashanam Ravanah Krodatam Raksho Dahannivatam Abravit Anujivya Sudurbuddhe Guruvad Bhashase Katham Shasitaham Trijagatam Tvam Mam Shikshanna Lajjase Idanimeva Hanmitvam Kintu Purvakritam Tava Smarami Tena Rakshami Tvam Yadyapi Vadochitam Ito Gaccha Vimudhatvam Evam Shrotum Name Kshamam Mahaprasada Ityuktva Vepamano Griham Yayo Shukopi Brahmanah Purvam Brahmishto Brahmavittamah Vanaprastha Vidhanena Vane Tishthan Swakarma Krute Devanam Abhivriddhyartham Vinashaya Suradvisha Chakara Yajna Vitatim Avichinna Mahamatihi Rakshasanam Virodho Bhut Shuko Devahitodyataha Vajradamshtra iti khyataha Tatraiko Rakshaso Mahan Antaram Prepsuratishtat Shukapakaranodhyataha Kadachidagato Gastyaha Tasyashramapadam Munehe Tena Sampujito Gastyo Bhojanartham Nimantritaha Gate Snatum Munau Kumbhasambhave Prapya Chantaram Agastya Rupa Dhriksopi Rakshasashukam Abhravit Yadi Dasyasi Me Brahman Bhojanam Dehi Samisham Bahukalam Na Bhuktam Me Mamsam Chaganga Sambhavam Tatheti Karayamasa Mamsa Bhojyam Savistaram Upavishte Munau Bhoktum Rakshasotiva Sundaram Shukhabharya Vapurdhritva Tam Chantarmohayan Khalaha Naramamsam Dadau Tasmai Supakvam Bahuvistaram Datvaivantar Dadhe Rakshaha Tato Drishtva Chukopasaha Amedhyam Manusham Mamsam Agastya Shukam Abravit Abhakshyam Manusham Mamsam Dattavanasi Durmate Mahyam Tvam Rakshaso Bhutva Tishthatvam Manushasanaha Iti Shapta Shuko Bhitya Prahagastyam Mune Tvaya Idanim Bhashitam Medya Mamsam Dehiti Vistaram Tathaiva Dattam Bhodeva Kim Me Shapam Pradasyasi Shrutva Shukasya Vachanam Muhurtam Dhyanamastitaha Nyatva Rakshah Kritam Sarvam Tatah Praha Shukam Sudhihi Tavapakarina Sarvam Rakshasena Kritam Twidam Avicharyaiva Me Dattaha Shapaste Munisattama Tathapi Me Vachomogham Evameva Bhavishyati Rakshasam Vapurasthaya Ravanasya Sahaya Krite Tishtata Vadyada Ramo Dashanana Vadhayahi Agamishyati Lankayaha Samipam Vanaraisaha प्रेषितो रावणेन त्वं चारो भूत्वा रघूत्तमं दृष्ट्वा शापाद्विनिर्मुक्तो बोधयित्वा च रावणं तत्त्वज्ञानं ततो मुक्तः परं पदमवाप्स्यसि इत्युक्तोऽगस्त्यमुनिना शुको ब्राह्मणसत्तमः बभूव राक्षसः सद्यो रावणं प्राप्य संस्थितः इदानीं चाररूपेण दृष्ट्वा रामं सहानुजं रावणं तत्त्वविज्ञानं बोधयित्वा पुनर्द्रुतं पूर्ववद्ब्राह्मणो भूत्वा स्थितो वैखानसै सह ततः समागमद्वृद्धो माल्यवान् राक्षसो महान् बुद्धिमानीतिनिपुणो राज्ञो मातुः प्रियः पिता प्राहतं राक्षसं वीरं प्रशान्तेनान्तरात्मना शृणु राजन् वचो मेद्य श्रुत्वा कुरु यथेप्सितं यदा प्रविष्टा नगरीं जानकी रामवल्लभा तदादिपुर्यां दृश्यन्ते निमित्तानि दशानन घोराणि नाशहेतूनि तानि मे वदतः शृणु करस्तनितनिर्घोषा मेघा अतिभयङ्कराः शोणितेनाभिवर्षन्ति लङ्कामुष्णेन सर्वदा रुदन्ति देवलिङ्गानि स्विद्यन्ति प्रज्वलन्ति च कालिका पाण्डुरैर्दन्तैः प्रहसत्यग्रतस्थिता खरागोषु प्रजायन्ते मूषकानकुलैः सह मार्जारेण तु युध्यन्ति पन्नगा गरुडेन तु करालो विकटो मुण्डः पुरुषः कृष्णपिङ्गलः कालो गृहाणि सर्वेषां काले काले त्ववेक्षते एतान्यन्यानि दृश्यन्ते निमित्तान्युद्भवन्ति च अतः कुलस्य रक्षार्थं शान्तिं कुरु दशानन सीतां सत्कृत्य सधनां रामायाशु प्रयच्छ भोः रामं नारायणं विद्धि विद्वेषं त्यज राघवे यत्पादपोतमाश्रित्य ज्ञानिनो भवसागरं तरन्ति भक्तिपूतान्तास्ततो रामो न मानुषः भजस्व भक्तिभावेन रामं सर्वहृदालयं यद्यपि त्वं दुराचारो भक्त्या पूतो भविष्यसि मद्वाक्यं कुरु राजेन्द्र कुलकौशलहेतवे तत्तु माल्यवतो वाक्यं हितमुक्तं दशाननः न मर्शयति दुष्टात्मा कालस्य वशमागतः मानवं कृपणं रामं एकं शाखामृगाश्रयं समर्थं मन्यसे केन हीनं पित्रा मुनिप्रियं रामेण प्रेषितो नूनं भाषसे त्वमनर्गलं गच्छ वृद्धोऽसि बन्धुस्त्वं सोढं सर्वं त्वयोदितम् इतो मत्कर्णपदवीं दहत्येतद्वचस्तव इत्युक्त्वा सर्वसचिवैः सहितः प्रस्थितस्तदा प्रासादाग्रे समासीनः पश्यन् वानरसैनिकान् युद्धाय योजयत् सर्वराक्षसान् समुपस्थितान् रामोऽपि धनुरादाय लक्ष्मणेन समाहृतं दृष्ट्वा रावणमासीनं कोपेन कलुषीकृतः किरीटिनं समासीनं मन्त्रिभिः परिवेष्टितं शशाङ्कार्धनिभेनैव बाणेनैकेन राघवः श्वेतछत्रसहस्राणि किरीटदशकं तथा चिच्छेदनिमिषार्धेन तदद्भुतमिवाभवत् लज्जितो रावणस्तूर्णं विवेश भवनं स्वकम् आहूय राक्षसान् सर्वान् प्रहस्तप्रमुखान् खलः वानरैः सह युद्धाय नोदयामास सत्वरः। ततो भेरी मृदङ्गाद्यैः पणवानकगोमुखैः महिषोष्ट्रैः सिंहैः द्वीपिभिः कृतवाहनाः खड्गशूलधनुः पाश यष्टितोमरशक्तिभिः लक्षिता सर्वतो लङ्का प्रतिद्वारमुपाययुः। तत्पूर्वमेव रामेण नोदिता वानरर्षभाः उद्यम्य गिरिशृङ्गाणि शिखराणि महान्ति च तरूंश्चोत्पाठ्य विविधान् युद्धाय हरियूथपाः प्रेक्षमाणा रावणस्य तान्यनीकानि भागशः राघवप्रियकामार्थं लङ्कामारुरुहुस्तदा ते द्रुमैः पर्वताग्रैश्च मुष्टिभिश्च प्लवङ्गमाः ततः सहस्रयूथाश्च कोटियूथाश्च यूथपाः कोटिशतयुताश्चान्ये रुरुधुर्नगरं वृशम् आप्लवन्तः प्लवन्तश्च गर्जन्तश्च प्लवङ्गमाः रामो जयत्यतिबलो लक्ष्मणश्च महाबलः राजा जयति सुग्रीवो राघवेणानुपालितः इत्येवं घोषयन्तश्च समं युयुधिरेरिभिः हनुमानङ्गदश्चैव कुमुदो नील एव च नलश्च शरभश्चैव मैन्दो द्विविध एव च जाम्बवान् दधिवक्त्रश्च केसरीतार एव च अन्ये च बलिनः सर्वे यूथपाश्च प्लवङ्गमाः द्वाराणुत्प्लुत्य लङ्कायाः सर्वतोरुरुधुर्भृशम् तदा वृक्षैर्महाकायाः पर्वताग्रैश्च वानराः निजघ्नुस्तानि रक्षांसि नखैर्दन्तैश्च वेगिताः राक्षसाश्च तदा भीमा द्वारेभ्यः सर्वतोरुषा निर्गत्य भिन्दिपालैश्च खड्गैः शूलैः परश्वधैः निजघ्नुर्वानरानीकं महाकाया महाबलाः राक्षसांश्च तथा जग्नुः वानराजितकाशिनः तदा बभूव समरो मांसशोणितकर्दमः रक्षसां वानराणां च सम्बभूवाद्भुतोपमः ते हयैश्च गजैश्चैव रथैकाञ्चन सन्निभैः रक्षो व्याघ्रायुयुधिरे नादयन्तो दिशो दश राक्षसाश्च कपीन्द्राश्च परस्परजयैषिणः राक्षसान् वानरा जग्नुः वानरांश्चैव राक्षसाः रामेण विष्णुना दृष्टा हरयो दिविजांशजाः बभूवुर्बलिनो हृष्टास्तदा पीतामृता इव सीताभिमर्शपापेन रावणेनाभिपालितान् हतश्रीकान् हतबलान् राक्षसान् जग्नुरोजसा चतुर्थांशावशेषेण निहतं राक्षसं बलम् स्वसैन्यं निहतं दृष्ट्वा मेघनादोऽथ दुष्टदीः ब्रह्मदत्तवरः श्रीमानन्तर्धानं गतोऽसुरः सर्वास्त्रकुशलो व्योम्नि ब्रह्मास्त्रेण समन्ततः नानाविधानि शस्त्राणि वानरानीकमर्दयन् ववर्षशरजालानि तदद्भुतमिवाभवत् रामोऽपि मानयन् भ्राममस्त्रमस्त्रविदाम्बरः क्षणं तूष्णीमुवासाथ ददर्श पतितं बलम् वानराणां रघुश्रेष्ठश्चुकोपानलसन्निभः चापमानय सौमित्रे ब्रह्मास्त्रेणासुरं क्षणात् भस्मीकरोमि मे पश्य बलमध्य रघुत्तम मेघनादोऽपि तच्छ्रुत्वा रामवाक्यमतन्द्रितः तूर्णं जगामनगरं मायया मायिकोऽसुरः पतितं वानरानीकं दृष्ट्वा रामोऽतिदुःखितः उवाच मारुतिं शीघ्रं गत्वा क्षीरमहोदधिं तत्र द्रोणगिरिर्नाम दिव्यौषधिसमुद्भवः तमानय द्रुतं गत्वा सञ्जीवय महामते वानरौघान् महासत्त्वा कीर्तिस्ते सुस्थिरा भवेत् आज्ञाप्रमाणमित्युक्त्वा जगामानिलनन्दनः आनीय च गिरिं सर्वान् वानरान् वानरर्षभः जीवयित्वा पुनस्तत्र स्थापयित्वा ययौ द्रुतं पूर्ववद्भैरवं नादं वानराणां बलौघतः श्रुत्वा विस्मयमापन्नो रावणो वाक्यमब्रवीत् राघवो मे महान् शत्रुः प्राप्तो देवविनिर्मितः हन्तुं तं समरे शीघ्रं गच्छन्तु मम यूथपाः मन्त्रिणो बान्धवा शूरा ये च मत्प्रियकाङ्क्षिणः सर्वे गच्छन्तु युद्धाय त्वरितं मम शासनात् येन गच्छन्ति युद्धाय भीरवः प्राणविप्लवात् तान् हनिष्याम्यहं सर्वान् मत्शासनपराङ्मुखान् तश्रुत्वा भयसन्त्रस्ता निर्जग्मूरणकोविदाः अतिकायः प्रहस्तश्च महानादमहोदरौ देवशत्रुर्निकुम्भश्च देवान्तकनरान्तकौ अपरे बलिनः सर्वे ययुर्युद्धाय वानरैः एते चान्ये च बहवः शूरा शतसहस्रशः प्रविश्य वानरं सैन्यं ममन्थुर्बलदर्पिताः भुशुण्डीभिन्दिपालैश्च बाणैः खड्गैः परश्वधैः अन्यैश्च विविधैरस्त्रैः निजग्नुर्हरियूथपान् ते पादपैः पर्वताग्रैः नखदंष्ट्रैश्च मुष्टिभिः प्राणैर्विमोचयामासुः सर्वराक्षसयूथपान् रामेण निहता केचित् सुग्रीवेण तथा परे हनूमता चाङ्गदेन लक्ष्मणेन महात्मना यूथपैर्वानराणां ते निहता सर्वराक्षसाः रामतेजः समाविश्य वानरा बलिनो भवन् रामशक्तिविहीनानामेवं शक्तिः कुतो भवेत् सर्वेश्वरः सर्वमयो विधाता मायामनुष्यत्वविडम्बनेन सदाचिदानन्दमयोऽपि रामो युद्धादिलीलां वितनोति मायाम् इति श्रीमद्यात्मरामायणे उमामहेश्वरसंवादे युद्धकाण्डे 5मः सर्गः।